Hey people, welcome back to a new video of 10 Talk. Andrew Garfield captivated critics with his portrayal of the talented and exuberant music composer Jonathan Larson in the semi-autobiographical film Tick, Tick Boom, which premiered on Netflix on Friday. But what happened to Jonathan in real life? In today's video, we are going to find out more about his life and the bittersweet success of his hit musical career. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for interesting videos like this. Also, hit the bell icon to receive our latest notifications. Alright, let's begin. Jonathan Larson was a musical composer who has written the famous song Rent. Tick, Tick, Boom is an autobiographical musical he wrote detailing a period in his life when he was afraid to turn 30 without having composed a hit musical, having spent 8 years in a sci-fi rock musical, Superbia, while working part-time at a diner. He was torn between abandoning his artistic and impoverished lifestyle altogether and taking a position in marketing or continuing to pursue his dreams. Sadly, Jonathan passed away at the age of 35 in the early hours of January 25, 1996, the same day as Rent's first ever off-Broadway preview performance was held. Larson died of an aortic dissection, which is believed to have been caused by Marfan syndrome. New York State medical researchers concluded that if the aortic dissection had been correctly diagnosed and treated with surgical repair, Larson could have survived. Larson's early days. In 2006, a documentary about the making of Rent titled No Day, But Today, the story of Rent was released, which included interviews with Larson's parents, sister, cousins, friends, and former colleagues. Larson was born to Nanette and Alan Larson in White Plains, New York on February 4, 1960. His family was Jewish. He was exposed to the performing arts, especially music and theater, from an early age, playing the trumpet and tuba, singing in his school choir, and taking formal piano lessons. His early musical influences were his favorite rock musicians such as Elton John, the Beatles, The Doors, and Billy Joel. Larson also loved classical musical theater composers, most notably was Stephen Sondheim. He also participated in acting in high school, while playing lead roles in various productions. At the beginning of the film, Larson's family was captured painting a picture of his childhood in White Plains, New York, where he was in the school band and choir and starred in their high school productions. Eventually, he attended Adelphi University to study acting and even started making his own music. After graduation, he moved to New York to devote herself to writing, just as Garfield proclaims in Tick, Tick, Boom. Larson's sister says in the documentary that Larson would tell people he would change the face of American musical theater. During his college years, he began composing music, first composing music for small student productions called cabarets, and then the soundtrack for a musical called Book of Good Love, written by the head of the department, Jacques Burdick. Burdick acted as Larson's mentor during his college education. After graduating with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, Larson participated as a pianist on a summer title theater program at the Barn Theater in Augusta, Michigan, which resulted in earning an Actors Equity Association membership card. Creating Tick, Tick, Boom. Larson spent years working as a waiter at Manhattan's Moonman's Diner to earn money by writing and composing. He had paid for concerts here and there and had worked extensively on a futuristic musical called Superbia. As we see in the film, legendary composer Stephen Sondheim came to a musical workshop, but it was never produced. As Vox reports, Larson was embittered that all the producers who had come to his Superbia workshop told him it was too expensive to mount on off-Broadway and too rare to mount on Broadway. His sister Julie told the New York Post that Jonathan was devastated. So he got to work on a show that was just him, a piano and a band. No one could tell you it's too big. He started working on a solo show, which eventually was called Tick, Tick, Boom. The title refers to the 2 clocks of his potential and his friend's life, which he feared were running out. According to Vox, Larson had already lost several friends to the AIDS crisis and the best of real life. The friend told him he had HIV. Theater producer Jeffrey Seller, who would later work on musicals such as In the Heights and Hamilton, participated in a production of the show and told Larson he wanted to produce his own musicals. According to the Post, Seller wrote Larson a letter that read, "His work, including music, lyrics, and words, has an emotional force and resonance that I have rarely experienced in the theater." Then, after Tick, Tick, Boom, Larson returned to a project he had already put aside, an adaptation of Giacomo Puccini's opera La Bohème. It also tells the story of 2 poor artists who live in Paris. Playwright Billy Aronson initially contacted Larson about the musical, which would take place in modern-day New York City during the AIDS epidemic. Aronson and Larson eventually got separated, and Larson moved on to what would become Rent alone. Larson's final days and untimely death. The New York Theater Workshop became the first theater to produce Rent, allowing Larson to officially quit his job at the Mundensteiner. But on the edge of the show, Larson started having chest pains and nausea, according to his friends and colleagues in the documentary. During a technical rehearsal, Larson collapsed in the back of the theater. He ended up going to the ER twice, but the doctors found nothing wrong. He continued with the show, and on January 24, 1996, Larson went to Rent's final dress rehearsal, which took place in front of a packed audience. Then, he went to the back of the theater to do an interview with Times critic Anthony Tomasini, which can still be read on the internet. Larson returned home at around 12:30 p.m., where he put water on the stove to make tea. Larson unexpectedly died of an aortic aneurysm. It was the morning of the first Rent trailer on Off-Broadway, while he was 35 years old, the success of Rent. While his friends and family mourned Larson's death, Rent was an instant hit. The show continued to sell out at the New York Theater Workshop and eventually went to Broadway, where it became a sensation. Larson posthumously won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama and 3 Tony Awards. But more importantly, Rent did what Larson said it would do. It changed the face of American musical theater with its rock soundtrack and contemporary setting and characters. In the years following Larson's death, playwright David Auburn rewrote Tick, Tick, Boom, transforming it from a one-man show into a 3-part work that debuted off-Broadway in 2001, bringing even more of Larson's work to the masses. As Miranda wrote in her 2014 Times article, "Jonathan, if you can hear me, you have kept all your promises and more. We keep doing their job, and when we do, someone else's life changes. Someone else is allowed to tell their story because you told yours." Tick, Tick, Boom came out on Netflix on Friday. The film had its world premiere at AFI Fest on November 10, 2021, and began a limited theatrical release on November 12, 2021, before streaming on Netflix on November 19, 2021. The film has received positive reviews from critics praising Miranda's direction, Levinson's screenplay, and the musical sequences, with Garfield's performance garnering universal acclaim. In an essay written on the film via the New York Times, director Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote, "Someone else will have a hard time doing their best in the time they have. Someone else will try to find the right words for thank you, thank you, thank you." Andrew Garfield has played the character of Jonathan in the film. His latest work was a great success, receiving a 15-year run on Broadway, as well as winning a number of awards, including 3 Tony Awards, a Pulitzer Prize, and a Drama Desk Award. Speaking with Deadline about the late singer-songwriter's portrayal, Andrew said, "When I started to understand who Jonathan Larson was, it was like Lynn was reintroducing me to a long-lost brother I didn't know I had. As an older brother, I felt an affinity. Someone who is a revolutionary, someone who saw the anguish of the world around him and transformed into beauty." After his death, Larson's family and friends founded Jonathan Larson Performing Arts Foundation to provide cash grants to artists, especially composers and musical theater writers, to support their creative work. The Jonathan Larson Scholarships are now administered by the American Theater Wing, thanks to a grant funded by the foundation and the Larson family. In memory of Larson, in 1996, the Larson family, together with the Jonathan Larson Performing Arts Foundation, established an award honoring emerging musical theater for writers and composers. In 2008, the American Theater Wing adopted and continued the legacy through the Jonathan Larson Grants, an unlimited cash gift to aid writers' creative endeavors to increase their work. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed watching our today's video. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any of our videos. See you soon. Thanks for watching.